At the moment, the British assets that you would expect to be used might be a flight of Tornado ground attack aircraft. Certainly the AWACS, the Airborne Warning and Control System, has been operating above Libyan airspace at least for a week. British and French AWACS aircraft have been checking what was going on the ground and have set up the infrastructure. We're fairly sure about that. So there is, I think, an environment in which French Rafale jets and British Tornado jets might go into action relatively soon. But if they did, it would be for particular attacks which have already been pre-planned. The French have implied that that may happen within 48 hours. I think the British are being more cautious, but we will see. Having declared the no-fly zone, having got this resolution through and having the momentum behind it, I suspect that British and French politicians will want to be seen to act sooner rather than later and not, as it were, allow Gaddafi's forces on the ground a free run for the next 48 or 72 hours before a more complex no-fly zone is able to be put in place. I think militarily the British forces are probably ready for this. They began planning for some sort of air activity about a week ago, and air activity can take place pretty quickly. Whether that would allow for extensive activity remains to be seen. It shouldn't have a big impact on our operations in Afghanistan, at least in terms of aircraft. We deploy one flight of Tornadoes at the moment at Kandahar, 6 or 7 aircraft. We've certainly got more than that to offer. The strain will be on the enablers, on the AWACS, the Airborne Warning and Control System, on some of the intelligence assets. I mean, ultimately, if Britain found itself engaged in a prolonged air operation over Libya, then it would have some impact on our air operations in Afghanistan. But as things stand, a 1 or 2 week, perhaps a 3 week campaign over Libya is certainly sustainable with our air assets. We're not now talking about any ground forces, but with air assets, with some backup from the Navy, then it is sustainable for a short period.